Guest of which is currently sitting alongside our regular host, Boffers. PK, you can introduce yourself.
So
irrelevant.
What do you do? What makes you relevant in the esports
scene? Nothing. He manages TV.
I played COD in the youth scene for a bit. Then went 18 plus.
You went to LAN.
I went to LAN. Placed.
So you've achieved more than most youth players.
Oh,
Stop.
Top 128.
Okay, I placed 11th.
Okay, maybe not.
11th out of 19 teams.
Okay. And then I started an org, which was
Exilium?
Yeah.
Exilium.
Did nothing.
No, not that one.
Founder of Exilium.
Oh
Not
god.
No?
I thought that was Rico.
I bought it off. No, I bought it off Rico.
Oh, did you?
I bought the org off Rico.
Oh man.
And then I bought the org off Rico. Essentially, like, the org was just, I liked the name, so I bought it off him.
You like the colours.
I think it was like less than £10. So maybe like £7 or something like that. I bought the org.
And that's how much a youth esports org is actually worth.
Yeah.
It came with all the graphics, and I had like at least 6 gigabytes worth of graphics or something like that. So solidly worth it. £7. Gladly pay for that because designers were charging £15 for a banner and a logo those days. So £7.
At Conor Farron, would anyone pay £100 per hour?
Okay, so £7 for 6 gigabytes worth of graphics, definitely worth it. And then I shut Exilium down, joined Void, made sure Void went to shit,
and
then left Void, went back to Exilium. That shut down. I quit for a long time. Yeah, essentially, and
now we're here.
Now I'm with TD.
After streaming for a long time.
Yeah, so I did stream. Okay, in Infinite Warfare, I was one of like the only few 18 plus players streaming consistently, and because of PPs back then, you got into a bunch of games with pros. So using the pros platform, like, my stream actually grew quite a bit. I was averaging like 10 to 40 viewers consistently. So
big leagues now, boys.
You're getting up to HJ's numbers there. Be careful.
Yeah, careful. We're knocking on copies.
I mean, that was on. They're still getting more than me, but
yeah.
I mean, I grew a bit, but I quit.
And then quit. Yeah. And then he became an Overwatch pro.
Yeah. And
I tried to go pro in Overwatch. So
okay.
Where
are you at in that?
So we played over 1,000 teams in the Open Division. I think our team placed top 100 something.
All right.
So not too bad. If we won,
did you get games casted?
No one gets games casted in Open Division.
Oh, sad.
Overwatch is good.
Oh dear.
I got one scrim casted actually.
Okay.
I have a video of it.
Let's not do that now.
Okay.
Okay. Well, regardless, there you go. There we have PK, and of course, myself and George will be joining PK this week.
Irrelevant.
But the irrelevant free is our names for this week. We will be getting straight into the news. Then we want to keep this one short and sweet for you guys at home. So as usual, for those of you guys who don't know, we have a structured element to the Esports Universe show with our reboot this season. We have an introduction, a news section, an ACL update, community talks, and then the big question, which this week is: should Call of Duty win an esport award? Does it deserve to win an esport award? I know George has quite strong views on this, and we will get onto it later on. And we will, of course, be talking about those all-important esports awards. However, we're going to get right into things, right down into the nitty-gritty with the 2K results. We're going to be talking about the APAC 2K, the EU 2K, and the North American 2K. So, lads, get your APAC 2K up on screen right now, because we're going to switch it on to the main screen. Nothing much to talk about here. Mindfreak beat Tainted Minds after Tainted Minds beat Mindfreak last week.
Aren't they the only 2 teams that anyone cares about in APAC?
Yeah.
Who's on Mindfreak this season?
No idea.
It's like Buzzo, Shocks, Fighter, Luqua, and Excite, I think.
So, the best 5 players.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, they're saying that Tainted Minds beat Mindfreak last week, so...
I mean, that doesn't count. It's just like, if number 1 and number 2 in my local town doesn't mean number 1 and number 2 anywhere else. Like, it's just doesn't make sense.
They're not going to do well.
It's not. I get, like, we've talked about this. APAC, unless they get like a reason for players to actually compete in COD there, because
they won't.
No point. Competition is just dog shit. Like, talking about APAC, whilst they do win and it holds some sort of relevance because they do qualify for World League, But again, doesn't matter. Like they're never gonna, unless the pros like physically come here and compete.
Or it's even to NA. Yeah.
Yeah, come here or NA. I mean, NA probably better, but again, like it makes no sense. Like Mind Freak or Tainted Minds, one of them is gonna win. It's just about who performs better on the day because their practice is just as good as each other.
Yeah. Are these both teams that we see making the Pro League?
Yeah.
Maybe. I'd say one of them.
Is there one guaranteed spot for
APAC?
APAC this year?
No, I don't think it's guaranteed at all. I don't think it is. I think it's like essentially you have to get in through Vegas. It's the top 16 of teams at Vegas that make it into the Pro League.
Then
They're not
definitely
making
not.
it Pro League then.
No,
You think Mind Freak and Tainted Minds will definitely place top
Actually,
20?
they are 5v5, so there's like 10 less teams.
No way.
I think one of them will.
Okay.
Let's consider the fact that both Mind Freak and Tainted Minds both got into the Pro League last year.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
but
one
only for season
APAC squad was guaranteed.
Yeah, Mind Freak was guaranteed, but
Mind Freak was guaranteed, and then Mind Freak got in through relegation. Like it's not.
Mind Freak were in the whole year. Tainted Minds got in for Tainted Minds got in for a relegation, but the relegation bracket is an international thing, so they had to play European and North American teams to get through.
Even then, they don't play top tier teams.
Well, I don't know who they got through. To be fair, so
I'll be on the precipice on it. I think Mind Freak will probably like be okay and like get themselves in. I don't know about.
I think Excite's a really good player. Buzzo needs to be dropped
immediately.
I don't have been asking for that for so long, haven't they? Buzzo getting dropped.
Yeah, I don't know why Buzzo was ever. I don't know why he's still a part of the roster, to be honest. Because he was good back in Black Ops 3, but I haven't seen him compete to a high level since.
Yes.
And when Buzzo's on stream, I know it's an automatic L. Like it's that bad.
Okay, all right. So
It's like me on the sticks, Christ.
Holy hell!
Oh, no, we won't talk about that, George. Regardless, so Mind Freak beat Tainted Minds. They are this week's APAC 2K champions. We'll move on from that region, though. Again, not much to talk about there. Beyond Mind Freak and Tainted Minds, it's pretty irrelevant. We go into Europe, though, and we get a little bit spicier. Heretics. The Spanish gods come in and take first in a 2K, which, to be honest, I don't think anybody really expected that.
Who do they even beat? I didn't watch the
Reciprocity in the grand final.
And that is
Tommy's team.
Tommy. So it's like the European,
Yeah.
Australian hybrid.
Yeah, it's the team coach version.
I mean, I don't know. Are Red Reserve and all of them still?
No, they're in America now.
No, well, yeah.
Right.
So Red Reserve are not in America yet. However, they did not participate in this 2K because they didn't care. So they didn't play in this 2K.
Right. Okay.
They
Obviously,
won
Splicer
last
in America. In Europe, it was Reciprocity, wasn't it?
Wait, well, sorry. What was the question?
Who won the last 2K in Europe?
Europe. It was I've
I've
forgotten the player's team now. I've forgotten the guy's name. Oh, this is gonna be so bad. I think it's like Brain's team, but I can't remember. Like,
yeah, well, I'm sure it was like Brain, Niall. Was it Niall? Brain and Niall.
Oh god, this is so bad. We talked about this last week. It was Quicker, Weeman, Nelson,
Quicker.
Diller. Yeah, I mean Quicker and Brain are basically the same player in my head, just because they got weird names. But I know they're not the same player, but. But yeah. Anyway, let's. I mean, the point of the conversation here is Heretics. I mean, they come out of nowhere and they get first place.
No hablo español, my friend.
Is it an online element? Is it
Yes.
are Heretics gonna carry across this performance LAN?
I mean, I think
They made pools at Birmingham, didn't they?
They've done really well as a bubble team over the course of the last year.
is it the exact same roster?
Well, obviously not because we've added a fifth player and
Yeah, but like the core four.
Yeah.
yes, they've added metals in.
I mean, I don't really think you can classify anything right now.
Online, yeah.
Yeah.
Not even that. It's just about consistency because, like, again, like if Red Reserve compete in this 2K, maybe Heretics don't even.
Maybe they don't win.
Maybe they don't even
That's
win.
very true.
Like,
That's very true. Yeah.
So
I do think a result against Reciprocity, whatever they call it.
I've got to say I've practiced so much saying that.
I think it's pretty legit. Though. A win against those guys is somewhat legit.
But even then, like I don't think you can classify anything consistently right now.
No,
Yeah.
no, I agree.
Even with the NA 2K, right?
I mean, Optic are flying through
That is
this.
okay. I mean, I know they won, but I'm a bit of a jumping the gun here, right? Because we're talking about the NA 2K, but the thing is that they beat everyone without dropping a map last week.
Yes, and then they
So-
dropped 2 maps this week, I think.
Yeah, so that is, I mean, that in itself is quite impressive. So they're obviously one of the top caliber teams.
Yeah.
But how good they are right now, we don't know.
Okay.
Like, they're definitely within top 4, top 5 range.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm excited
But-
to see how they perform at Las Vegas. I think it's fair to say.
Few heretics, yeah.
Yeah, Heretics.
Yeah, for sure. Because if they do well, is there one more 2K next week or?
There is. There's a 2K every week. I'm pretty sure now.
Yeah, till Vegas, right?
Till Vegas, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it
so,
becomes 1Ks after.
so
Yeah.
wherever they place next week, depending on who they lose to as well.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So,
And the thing is, it's going to give them a good seed in open bracket as well. Oh no,
Yeah.
this does it affect open bracket? I can't remember if it's a World War II seeds or.
Pro points do affect open brackets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it will give them a better seed in open bracket. And on the flip side of that, I'm kind of worried about reciprocity, to be honest with you. Like, if they're going to lose the Heretics, and their performance last week wasn't that good either. I know, like you said, this is early season. On the flip side, reciprocity. I mean, they got top 8 last week, and
It's
they're getting
online,
second
bro.
here.
It's online. Like, as much as we've seen it firsthand from matches we've casted, especially with teams like Panthers and stuff, where youth players, especially obviously, but like all players will get annoyed at the fact that they are currently being joked because of hosts. So, say for example, Heretics. Say for example, Spanish hosts like Heretics hosted 1-2-5. Like, you might as well just write off the 2 of those maps. You know, a 1-3-5.
Honestly, hosting this game is the biggest advantage I've seen since Black Ops 2.
Since Black Ops 2.
Since Black Ops 2.
Well, it's a Treyarch game, isn't it? Treyarch games are notorious for bad
No,
connection.
Yeah, Black Ops 2 wasn't that bad, but this game is definitely bad. I know it for a fact. It's really bad when it comes to host. I don't know what. Maybe it's the servers, because we're playing on the fastest servers we've ever played on, right? But host right now is like one of the biggest things I've ever. Like, I've honestly seen it be a bigger joke than anything else. Like, and I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
And so also the fact that I just right now, right? The thing with Tommy, the thing I really like about Tommy, right, is his team actually grows over time. Right, we've seen it consistently, like Fnatic in Infinite Warfare. Yeah, we saw it last year as well, and we're going to see it this year. The thing is with Tommy, he knows when a team's hit its limit.
Yeah,
and that's what I really like about him as a player, because he knows how to capitalize on those limits. And when he's got this team performing second right now, and maybe they'll be the second or best team in Europe, right? Which is still quite a good thing, and we'll see how they capitalize throughout the year. Because if they place, like, let's say top 12 in Vegas, I guarantee you by the next event they'll be like top 8, and then the next event they'll be top 4 or something like that. They'll have consistent progression, which is which is rare to see about any team.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's reciprocity. That's Heretics. I think beyond that, everything's generally speaking the same. Actually, we do have the German squad of Piero, Kivi, Cookie, Sharko, and Phantom that came in and got 3rd, 4th, which is a pretty good placement for a team that's basically irrelevant. Like,
yeah, it means nothing to me.
So there's that. I mean,
like, the European talent pool has been massively diluted now that there's this big North American shift happening. Like, Europe basically just about mustered 3 good teams last year. Now
it's 2.
Now it's 2.
We had a good chance in Infinite Warfare.
Well, and the other thing is, we haven't even been able to talk about Mad Cat's new team, because they've placed bad. Well, I wouldn't say badly, but they've placed top 8 in both 2Ks now. They haven't done anything worth noting, and that's a roster full of both experienced players from before World War II, and players in World War II that were considered extremely good, such as Alex. It's Mad Cat, Josh, PT, Alex, and Dave.
Why are they not doing well? I thought it's basically the fucking Epsilon roster, isn't it?
Well, it's not. That's the thing, right? It's Dave. Dave's the only Epsilon player there.
Sure, PT. PT was on Unilever, wasn't it? No, where was PT before? No,
PT didn't have a full roster last year.
Josh was all over the place. Mad Cat is. I just feel like they're a bunch of misfits. I don't know if that team really does work.
They remind me, like, wasn't this team thrown together like last minute before the like?
Yeah.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, but this is the thing, right? It's a roster that, to me, on paper, it looks so talented.
Who's the main AO for that roster?
I'd say it was Mad Cat or Dave. Mad Cat or Dave, definitely.
No, for sure. Like, they play way too aggressive to be main AO.
For sure. You do need a slow AR in this game, to be fair.
The ICO is too dominant. Like, it's okay. No, it's not too dominant, right? But for that main AR role, you need like a guy who can run with the ICR, for sure. You know, because you have grip 2 on, like, let's say back swam's head glitch. You're not killing him. You know, it's like almost impossible.
Yeah.
Right. So I just think that, I mean, who's playing main AR for that roster?
I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
I sadly wasn't able to
It
watch.
could be a role problem, in all honesty.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how they perform at Vegas, of course, because LAN is a completely different translation to what you see online. So we shall see whether or not that is the case. We'll move on, though, to the North American 5K, for 2K, sorry, before we were in the ACL then. North American 2K, little bit different over in the Americas, as it were. Recently coming off their midterms, America not having much of a shake-up in in terms of the 2K. It was what did you say?
Still not a shake-up in the House of Representatives.
No, not really, not quite. Although the Senate went the way of.
I am the Senate.
Yeah, Trump is not on the Senate anymore. Regardless, Optic Gaming again coming out with a 2K victory, and people are very excited for Optic Gaming.
To start crawling out of the woodwork again.
Well, actually, I am quite excited because it's
so much from that last loss.
It kind of reminds me of at the moment the way that Optic Gaming are streaming. If you streaming, I don't know if you've seen like Scump with Nadeshot in his stream and such. It's sort of it's like giving me such flashbacks to like 2014, 2013.
When they weren't good.
Well, not when they weren't good, but when they
top like 5-3.
Okay.
Yeah, when they were content-wise, when they were on top of the game, and now they are on top of their game, and they're winning 2Ks. Like Optic Gaming right now are on top of the Call of Duty Esports world.
Your organisation has all the money in the world, and you can just buy every single good COD player that is in existence. Like, imagine the current roster.
So what is it's Crim Karma?
Yeah.
Dashi and TJ Halley.
Automatically, that's a 3-man.
Well, but this is the thing, right? You've got that core three. You've got that core three of Scump, Crimsix, and Karma. But to me, on the basis of paper, Dashi and TJ Halley should not be two of the most talented players that would amaze on Optic Gaming.
TJ Halley has been one of the best players since Advanced Warfare.
He's
sure.
Lights out.
Since that play.
Since that stunner roster.
Since that stunner roster, TJ Halley has been slept on throughout. Everyone's talking about, okay, if you named out one breakout player of Advanced Warfare, everyone would say Kook. But for me, it was TJ Halley.
Or Temp, even.
Or Temp. But for me, it was TJ Halley. The fact that he took as long as he did to get on like a star roster blew my mind.
Well, it was 18 plus for ages.
Yeah, I knew that. But even then, last year...
Yeah, Rise was the first team.
Rise was the first team. But even then, like, the fact that in my opinion, he's been, like, really good. Like, the thing is, he's been consistently good. And in Search, he's, like, bringing that team up in Search, for sure. And you have Dashi. So 2 excellent Search stars, for sure. Karma has always been great at Search. Every single time they needed a clutch play.
Clutch master, really.
Every single time they needed a clutch play.
He's the Zipniks of this team.
You give him a specialist like Ruin, like Heatwave. You see what he's done in Black Ops 3. You're going to see what he's going to do in this game as well. You give him the specialist and he'll do it. He'll pull off the clutch moment.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does.
All right. Well, let's talk about E United then. So E United are one of those rosters that the E United Optic Gaming beef is starting to really heat up, and it shone through here in terms of the fact that E United got second and beaten by Optic Gaming in the finals. I mean, are you United?
Can I just make a point about this E United Optic shit? Like, it's ridiculous. It is the most absurd reason to have a grudge I've ever seen.
They actually have a different reason for it.
What's the other reason?
I think last week of the 2K, E United lagged out or something. They got DDoS.
Yeah, E United lagged out in the last map.
Optic refused to replay a map.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's...
Well, but, okay. So what happened was, just for context, it was 245 in the first map of the series. United had control of the final hill. I believe it was Arstees. Arstees lagged out, and Optic Gaming retook the hill. United did not end the game, and basically Optic Gaming won the map, and Optic Gaming refused to replay it. Which is...
I wouldn't play that.
I wouldn't replay it. No.
United had host. Let's be clear about that.
It's fair enough. Like, I'm not fussed about that. But, like, as much as this beef, like, the first reason for it, like, cool, you have the non-replay factor, that's a different thing. But the logo thing that came out, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like, obviously the E United thing, good banter. Like, we were talking about this earlier over lunch.
Yeah.
Is that E United, like, Scump could have just replied, haha, nice championships you have there. And that would have been, like, the immediate shutdown. Like, it doesn't need to take it so personally. And then for this to be now the storyline going into the year of COD, like, someone looks, oh, I wonder what this E United Optic storyline. They tweet out a picture. Oh.
Well, there is more layers to it as well. You have to consider the fact that Clayster has had a sort of grudge with Optic Gaming for so many years now.
He does not at all. That is so untrue.
You don't think he does?
No.
I mean, okay.
He's made it very clear multiple times on stream that he doesn't have a problem with any of the players on Optic. Like,
But I don't think it's necessarily players. It might be the org.
Okay, maybe he has a problem with the org. I remember him talking about it on stream last night or something like that, that there was originally like a spot for him in the Optic house that he was ready to move into, but he had to sort some stuff out first, and Embos and Flamesword moved in or something in the original Optic house when he was on Optic. But that's all I can remember, like, there being a grudge about.
I know that when he should have been, you know, when EG broke up back in Ghosts.
Yes.
This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
But when EG broke up back in Ghosts and they were looking for a fourth, I think Optic were looking to buy out one of the EG players.
Which was Crim in the end.
I think so, but essentially they were going to drop Clay for Crim.
Yes, that was
or
right.
something like that. So they
Well, it was
said
Clay for Formal or something.
I'm not entirely sure, but the thing is that they dropped Clay. They said the Clay you're dropped.
And then they
told him that no, the deal didn't go
yeah.
through, so you're back on the team.
Yeah. So Clay got messed. That was after like Gfinity 3 or something.
And
then
I knew it was August.
Yeah.
It was in August
Yeah.
or something like that. So I know he has a bit of bad beef.
With the org, okay, I can see that, but I think after this amount of time, it's probably fine. Like, I like the storyline because as much as Clay, like, he's the other most followed person outside of Optic, so you could just have two fan bases going head to head. I'd argue to say that E United are the second most popular team in COD.
FaZe.
After 100 Thieves, actually.
100 Thieves.
FaZe and 100 Thieves, I'd say are ahead.
I think Clay's is definitely the most popular personality outside of Optic, though.
Maybe Attach, I'd argue. I think Attach has built up a proper...
Really?
Zuma.
Oh, yeah, Zuma. So Zuma and Attach, I think, are definitely the two that I've... outside of...
Zuma is not known for his stream, but like everyone loves him because of the things he says and his dad and stuff like that. Like,
he's the thing on that Ryan Hotel. When he was like,
oh yeah, when he went to defend Scraps on King of the Hill.
My favourite thing.
Oh my God.
You know Tiff Ponzel, the guy in like the bottom left, placed as X.
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to go in on her because of what she did to Clay. I was waiting for
She
that.
stayed so quiet, I remember that.
She was like pensive. She was waiting for to dig her own grave.
Oh dear me.
Tommy.
Regardless, not much else to talk about. The other thing E
United, right? Yeah, what do I think of E United? Good team. Probably going to be second or third best team this year.
Okay, all right. I respect that. I think there's a base for that opinion as well because they have performed well.
I'll tell you the reason why also, actually. Abizi, no one knows anything about him, really. He's done okay, reasonably. Open bracket player, whatever. He's only played for a year. Jordan Jacob Kaplan.
He's such a good player, isn't he?
He's mediocre. He is the reason why Attach is such a good player. He is the reason why so many young players are as good as they are. Landon made this point on a podcast or something that I saw him on, that JCap has the ability to take a young player and transform him into a fantastic player. And I don't know who else really has the ability to that. But if JCap can do that to Abizi and Prestini and make Prestini consistent, 100% of that team's competing.
Okay. JCap, in my personal opinion, I just think he is mediocre, right? But I think he's consistently mediocre.
Yeah.
You know exactly
what you're getting.
You know what you're getting with JCap. You're not going to expect him to pop off. You're not going to expect him to do poorly, though. You know exactly what you're getting out of JCap.
Yeah.
Right? He's a solid pick. Every single time he's a solid pick. It's not a bad one, and it's not a great one, but he's a solid one.
I think he's really integral to the team as well. He builds players.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just knowing that, just knowing that your teammate there, right? Like, let's just say you put somebody in that position. Let's just say you put somebody on Bricks head glitch on Slams, right? Saying, I got Bricks. Or, like, do you know whether he gets a two-piece or whether he gets no kills? Or sometimes he gets fried, sometimes he destroys everyone. Or sometimes, Jacob's going to get, you're going to know what you're going to get out of Jacob.
You're going to get one kill, maybe a trade.
Yeah, then... you know what you're getting out of Jacob, Jacob's going to say, I get a kill, okay, if I get pushed, I'm going to push back. No problem. So if Jacob says, I get pushed, he's pushing back. You know exactly what you're getting out of Jacob, which is what makes him so good. Which is why it makes him one of the better players, which is why he's been in the grand finals.
And top teams.
Yeah, and top teams, FaZe.
I think he has the Tommy effect, What you were talking about with Tommy, where every team he's on does just grow and it does just get better.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that Denial roster. They started out being Garbo, and then all of a sudden Clay and Attach and starts going nuclear. Replays becomes the best objective player in the world, and then Jacob doesn't really have to do a fat lot.
Yeah, that is true. But the thing is with Clay, I think he's really inconsistent.
He can be, yeah. I think it depends on the game for him.
I mean, not the game. I just think it's his attitude.
Probably.
Which is why I don't know how good a United will be.
Arsetes is main AR for United right now.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I think while Clay is really good, I just don't think. I think Arsetes is better.
Yeah.
I definitely. And then Pristini is your really aggressive sub.
Yeah.
With alongside Abizi, I'm assuming.
He's flex.
Yeah. So you have Clay in that medium position. But
Clay's actually. I've been watching a lot of the United scrims because I'm a Clay fan, and Clay's been looking actually really good this card. Maybe it's just everyone's talking about this War Machine multiplier for your damage. Like, at the end of the game, if you run War Machine, you have to multiply your damage down by 0.7, just because otherwise you're gonna get you've got all that extra damage. But he's doing really well. He's actually thriving.
Yeah, but as you were saying earlier, this rivalry between United and Optic, I just think it's Clay.
Yeah.
Because Clay is the only person that knows how to turn the crowd against Optic.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the only players that can do that, other than Apes.
Well, I don't unless you're in Birmingham.
Yes.
That was good.
Yeah. Out of Birmingham was great, but let's be real. Clay is the only one that I think people like Clay for Clay, and it's one of the only players outside of Optic.
Yeah, and of course he's got Arsetes and Pristini on the roster who notoriously had a bit of trouble with the fans when they first started and beat Optic Gaming way back when, and have grown an amazing fan base of anti-Optic fans ever since. So it's the ultimate anti-Optic roster, isn't it?
I love it. That's what FaZe was back in the day in Advanced Warfare, the ultimate anti-Optic. Loved it.
And now that's just
100 Thieves.
That's what
the anti-Optic roster.
Well, 100 Thieves should be theoretically, but 100 Thieves have sort of transformed themselves into the non-working team of villains, which is just completely messed up. I'm not gonna lie, it's not gone their way at all. This new roster.
You have Slasher on that team. What are you expecting?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that's the problem, isn't it? So you have Slasher and Octane on the same team. I mean, that's not going to work. Well, Enable's quite chill, actually. It's Slasher. I think Slasher and Octane, they're going to be the ones that crash. And of course, Kenny. People don't realise that Kenny actually has quite a strong voice in that team. So such a strong-willed person. I mean, it's not good.
You have 3 AR players on that roster.
Yeah, you do.
And I mean 3 not flex players, not
Enable used to be an AR, didn't it? 3 hardcore AR players. It's just not. I don't know how.
Enable is the guy you see at the back of the map, and Slasher is the aggressive AR, right?
Yeah.
But he's still an AR.
Octane is the slowest moving AR.
Enable is slower. Enable is slower.
Well, Octane was slower at one point. I remember Ghost when Octane was the slowest moving AR, maybe behind Formal. It was incredible seeing Octane just sit down and just yep. Just gonna chill here. Don't care.
Nothing is slower than FAL Black Ops 2 playster. It just literally L triggered around every corner.
I remember that quite well. Anyway,
let's not go back as far as the FAL. That was something else.
Right.
Let's just go back to Black Ops 2. Regardless, we'll move on then to our next point. There are your 2K results, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to move on to the Esports Awards. We're going to put the lovely logo right into the middle of your screens. And we don't actually have the awards on screen for you guys to read out, but we will talk about the relevant ones to Call of Duty. Now, of course, this is related to our big question. So for those of you who want to get involved in the Twitch chat, you can talk about this now. Our big question for this week will be, should Call of Duty... Well, does Call of Duty actually deserve to win an eSport award? So we'll start off with the big one. Then I think the biggest shock this week, I think for me, was Maven winning Broadcaster of the Year. Now he was going up against some real heavyweights in this category, such as Monte Cristo, Machine, Golden Boy. I mean, did Maven deserve to win an eSport award in Broadcaster of the Year?
Probably. I mean, if you look at the competition, Monte Cristo has had a fantastic year, in all honesty. The Overwatch League has been really good.
I think I can think of three casters off the top of my head that were in competition there alongside Maven.
Go on.
So I think
Monte Cristo. I don't think that's even up to debate. Monte Cristo.
Absolutely. I really like, as someone who came onto the scene this year, I really, really appreciate it. Uber and Deficio in League of Legends. I don't know if you know who he is. He's a Danish commentator. And I think he's really good.
He is absolutely on the shortlist.
Deficio is?
He is on the shortlist, yes. He was on the shortlist. He was on the nominees.
Quick shot on the shortlist.
He was, yeah.
Who else is on the shortlist?
So the shortlist goes as this.
Yeah, Sadakis wouldn't be on there this year, even though objectively he's like one of the best commentators in the world.
Well,
puns and stuff. Yeah.
Well, so the shortlist goes like this: it's Richard Buckley and Brandon Smith, Laura Valley, don't know, Deficio, Maven, Monte Cristo, Machine, Uber. I think this is a CS one. This is like jokes or shocks, or I don't know how you say
Oh,
it.
shocks from SJO.
Yes, yeah. I don't follow CS, so
she's the interviewee from League of Legends.
yes. James Bardolph, Golden Boy, Quick Shot, and Zoe from Overwatch.
Zoe and Golden Boy, like, really good hosts.
I think Golden. Honestly, and this is not.
I wouldn't have been surprised if it was Golden Boy.
Yeah, this is not a shot to Maven at all, because Maven is potentially the best broadcaster on the Call of Duty casting team. His play-by-play is amazing.
Courage went.
But Maven right now stands as the best play-by-play caster on the casting team. He's an absolutely amazing caster. But in my opinion, at the very least, Golden Boy is one of the best casters out there right now. He's doing amazingly. He's currently doing a TV show with The Rock, which like he's doing amazing. He's starting to get gigs outside.
That's what you get, though. That's what you get. He is one of the absolute OGs of esports. He was there in the
he did COD like way back when.
The first days of Halo.
Yes,
he was there.
yeah.
He has been there since the beginning, and he's like Red Eye. I don't know if you know who Red Eye is.
Yes, yeah, Red Eye, yeah.
He's been there since the beginning, just as long as Red Eye has.
Yeah, so I think Maven, Golden Boy for sure, Uber for sure, and
Uber and Monty. I'd say. I don't think CS casters have had a great year, in all honesty. Bardolph and DDK, admittedly, have had a fantastic year. They've done both major grand finals. Their company hosted the major, and the major that they ran was kind of mediocre. But the major finals they had before with Cloud9 versus FaZe was excellent, and they did a really good job. But, like, on the grand scheme of things, Sadakist had a bit of a mental breakdown by saying the N-word on stream. That was a little bit bad.
It's a little bit dumb, not gonna lie.
Anders and Semler broke up. Anders was casting with Moses. It's now a bit all up in the air. And, like, CS casters haven't had a great year. I think, objectively, if you look at it, Monte Cristo is probably the only caster, an Uber, that you can put in that category that say, yeah, they've had actually fantastic years as well. I don't think
it's important to note that this is broadcaster of this. This isn't exclusive to commentating.
I know. I also think Machine has just run a monopoly over CS events for the past year. So he's just. But
in my opinion, at the very least, I don't think anybody outside of Overwatch should have won this award this year. I think Monte Cristo deserved it just because Overwatch. I think Overwatch CS has been kind of stagnant. It's been a top esport for so long now that like it's been like the top FPS esport in my opinion. I don't think that's even an opinion. I think it's fact that it is the top FPS esport. And it hasn't done anything amazingly this year to top that. I mean, it's a top esport. It just is, and it can't do anything really more.
The start of the year for CS was incredible. We had so many good teams, so many good commentators. The major was excellent. The E-League Boston major, that is. And then the second half of the year just all kind of tapered off because all the teams became garbage. Astralis became dominant, and the London major was mediocre. So, yeah, I think absolutely, though, Overwatch this year has had such a big growth. It's been so well produced. The broadcast talent for it has only gone from strength to strength, and it's just indefinitely better.
I think Overwatch was I think Overwatch is the new way of esports.
Yeah,
the way they structured their league.
Well, they came out and they stormed, I think, the esports scene with such a brilliant league design.
Everyone watched it when it first came out, and then everyone stopped watching it, and it's kind of grown back its own view of it.
The only problem with Overwatch as a game is that it's really difficult to understand what's going on if you don't play it.
Yeah.
If you don't.
Yeah.
Like same with League.
The League and Dota.
CS, Dota 2, StarCraft as well.
Dota is
like
mind-blowing.
the thing is with the classic FPSs, right? Like COD and CS. The reason they're top esports is because
you can
understand what's going on simply easily. It goes, okay, every round you get money, you buy things,
and you kill someone.
Yeah,
and you kill someone. Yeah.
Yeah, or you plant the bomb, you defuse the bomb, whatever. Right after 10 rounds, you switch, blah 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 blah, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And then COD, there's a point, you kill people within the point, you get points. Or whatever.
It's really easy to understand. Whereas League of Legends, like if you didn't know anything about League, you probably couldn't tell who was winning until like 35 minutes in.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So, but the question is, did Maven deserve to win this over everyone else?
Probably.
I
feel like he's justified in winning it. I do think it should have gone to Cristo though.
I think it should have gone to Uber.
Okay.
Uber.
All right. Well, we'll move on then from broadcaster there because that was Call of Duty's first win and potentially their biggest at the event. Secondly, of course, we're going to be talking about a category that I think Call of Duty has dominated for quite a lot of time. Quite a long time, Call of Duty has dominated this category. And it is, of course, Esports Console Rookie of the Year. Kenny won this from Team Caliber, now, of course, of 100 Thieves. And I believe, the large majority, I think it was 5 out of the 7 nominees for this category were from Call of Duty.
What other esport are you
Gears
going to
of War?
pick?
Yeah. I believe the other 2 were from FIFA. I might be wrong in saying that.
No Gears of War, no anything else. But
then surely that makes a statement about how stagnant Gears of War is as
it
an
also makes a
esport.
statement about how stagnant console esports is. If FIFA can be one of the top things.
Well, FIFA's improving. Actually, you have to consider that fact. The fact that there's the E Premier League is coming soon. That the E Premier League is planning to be the new Overwatch league in terms of the amount of money they're funding into it. I mean. But because there's a player base, people want to watch it, unfortunately,
Unfortunately.
and Call of Duty.
Opinions without realising it.
Well, this is the only way you can do opinions these days. We've all got to be PC. But regardless, Call of Duty, in my opinion, I think Call of Duty deserved to win this award. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
I don't think there's any other game that can really contest it.
I mean, there is one game that I can think can maybe be Call of Duty. But again, it's nowhere near big enough.
Which is what?
Smash.
Yeah. Smash Ultimate might. They're doing an E-League premiere for Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, maybe... Okay, Smash, maybe even any of the other fighting games. I don't know what...
FGC is kind of dead.
FGC will never die.
No, it will never die, but it will never really grow to either.
It will... They need to... There's never any investment into the league.
No.
Because there's never any support from the devs, ever.
No, it's true.
Look at Smash Melee when it came out. They didn't even want the game to be streamed or played competitively at all. It's been being played competitively for 20 years now, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, again, the FGC is never going to get any growth unless devs actually try to do something, because they have the player base for sure.
But I don't think there's any other competition really.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the question then: should Kenny have won it? Because the other contenders on the list are TJ Halley, Priester, Dashi, and Alex. In my opinion, I don't consider Kenny a rookie. To be honest with you, I don't think he is necessarily a rookie.
Thing, but then again, I don't really consider TJ Halley a rookie either.
Well, exactly. So in that sense, then I personally think Alex should have won it if any Call of Duty player could have won it, because he is.
What did he achieve? He got on Unilad and then came top 8.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, I think to be fair, got top 4 in event, didn't they? I might be wrong in saying.
Probably. I don't know. He was good, but I think if you're looking at it from is this his first season competing at a truly top flight level? Yes, Kenny. End of discussion.
Yeah, TK was the best team last year.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just says a lot. To be fair, actually, Kenny did disappear for a few years, so he has actually just come out of sort of hiding, as it were, for World War II. So I think actually, we could consider him a rookie in a way, although he placed very well during Advanced Warfare when he was a young boy.
Which team was he?
I don't think.
It's Justice.
Oh, was he?
Wait, the original Justice.
The original. Well, not the original. Sorry.
And it was Machilla and
yeah, it was like Assault, Spacely, and Envoy with him.
Oh,
different.
So,
Justice.
That was the first event of the year, I think.
Probably.
What, him on Justice? No, he got top 6 at World Finals, 2015 MLG World Finals. Yeah.
I have never had a
in Advanced Warfare. No way!
Yep.
This is a shock to me.
To be fair, that event did have TR finishing second.
TR almost won champs. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, regardless, yeah.
Your point is actually invalid.
They did have to win the second best of 5, and they didn't do that.
So Kenny's a rookie only in the sense that he's come back from a long.
I think he deserves it anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Out of the people there, he probably deserves it.
Okay. So we'll move on to the next award that Call of Duty won, which is I think it's their final one, unless I'm being really bigoted. Oh no, they won Player of the Year. Sorry, my apologies. So Player of the Year went to Attach. Obviously, I can't actually. I'm not well endowed enough to be able to put that Player of the Year up on screen for you guys. But it was a 1 versus 4 against Optic Gaming in the grand finals of the event.
Through an artillery barrage.
Right. Yeah. He did a lot. He did a lot of good stuff in there.
World War II was a good game.
I don't actually know what the contestants were in this category.
100%. If Chris J's AWP ace from ESL1 New York against Liquid in the final is not on there, that is just an absolute sin. Because
I'm surprised. Okay, I mean, I'm surprised Prophet's 5K is not on there.
Prophet's 5K. I've actually seen that clip, but I don't.
That
I don't
is,
watch
yeah,
It's
that
nuts.
was dirty.
Nuts.
This is the grand final for the playoffs.
Is it stage?
No, this is the
Oh,
grand
the
final.
playoff,
The
yeah.
grand finals for the playoffs. And he gets Overwatch has 6 teams, by the way, and he 1v5. Overwatch has 6 players, and he 1v5.
It's so good.
It was one of the worst things, like one of the most disgusting highlights I've ever seen. I'm surprised he didn't win it, to be honest.
I can imagine it. Like, yeah,
I just think personally, right? Overwatch, the way they've done, the way they've introduced esports, like because they have these viewing parties and stuff, and it's like
they did that
amazing.
for League as well this year.
Yeah, that's so good because your team is just your hometown. Like we have one for London, which is the one. Like we have another one for EU now, which is Paris. But like this is the only EU team we had, and it was like if you go down into a bar in London called Meltdown, right? They all had viewing parties and stuff. You get drinks, you socialize with people who are
They're all got Spitfire jerseys on.
Yeah, exactly. And like eventually, I think not this season, but next season they're going to be home and away games. So it's going to be like it's like I like the way they're doing it. It's like, oh, where are you going? Oh, I'm just going to a football match. It's just like, I'm going to an Overwatch match. They're going to have their own stadium and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I really like the way they've done it. And you can interact with people and stuff like that. There's things in your hometown to support your team, which is what I really like about how Overwatch have done it. So yeah, and like the fact that they haven't like done it with orgs and stuff, because like C9 owns London Spitfire.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's London Spitfire first and not C9 makes it like easier to understand as like somebody
as a
who's
first-time viewer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So, in regards to that eSport award, then Player of the Year, Attach, should he have won it? I mean, I don't actually know the nominees because I've tried to find them and I can't. But you guys seem convinced that there's a CS Player of the Year
There's
that
a
should have won.
CS and an Overwatch player that definitely can turn.
Okay, I could name at least like 4 or 5 players. That should,
But you think Attach should not have won that?
no.
It depends what players are in contention, but I definitely like. There's plays from Simple this year. Like that kid has been a machine. That's why he's PC Player of the Year. Like that is just a quick note on Simple. The reason he wins that award is because he is playing at a level which has never been seen by any Counter-Strike player ever. He is currently the best Counter-Strike player to ever even touch any iteration of Counter-Strike, in my opinion. Like that is how good he is.
I mean, yeah, I just think that
he's solo carry. He's profit levels of carry.
Okay, so that's that. Then that's the esports awards pretty much wrapped up. The only other one really that we can touch upon is Hitch winning videographer of the year. Now you briefly mentioned before.
Really?
Well, I'll get the nominees up. Roger is actually on the list.
Yeah, see, that's the only other competition.
What is the nominees?
It's Damien Estrada, John Dinarwal Farah, Reese Rasmussen, which I believe might be Red Reserve. I'm not fully sure.
Sounds Finnish or Swedish.
Yeah.
No, Reese.
Is that Team Envy?
He did a few things with XL, did he not?
It might be XL. I don't know. I've definitely heard of it though.
XL and both.
Yeah.
Okay. There's Gabriel Ruiz, Max Olivo, Hitch, of course, O Roger, and O Hillian. So O Roger, I think, is pretty the only competition in that. Sadly.
Ruiz, I'm pretty sure.
I think Hitch deserves it though. I think he's probably one of the ones. I think he's responsible for sort of the kickstarting the videography. Trend in esports.
It's always been around and about. I mean, Liquid made that really good Smash documentary once, didn't they? Was it Liquid who made it? There was a Smash documentary made. I swear it was Liquid who made it.
A Smash documentary.
Yeah.
That was made by a TV. No, some other guy. Nope, it was just some random
But
guy.
stuff like videography's always been around. I think Hitch probably mainstreamed
that Smash
it.
documentary saved Smash though.
Yes, but I think Hitch probably mainstreamed it in esports. Like Optics content was really cool.
Yeah.
Vision was a really good concept. I think Vision was probably like the first of its kind.
Yes.
No.
Well, Vision was. I think Vision was the first one that was properly done, and people actually wanted to watch it.
It was the League of Legends teams called Champions or something.
Legends in Action.
Legends, something like that.
Legends
I think
in
it might have been
Action.
TSM or
TSM have been doing it for a long ass time.
TSM Legends, which is where Hitch got the idea for Vision from.
Yeah,
That's fair enough. But I think in Call of Duty at the very least, and I think outside of that, but Vision definitely kickstarted. So I think absolutely Hitch deserved that award.
I
don't
for,
think so. Like,
Roger.
he doesn't make anything now.
But I think for his work over the past year, I mean, you have to consider this is the 2018 Esports Awards. Like, you have to consider, even though he did recently pass over the torch to
I don't think he
been
passed it over.
I think it more got grabbed from him, and then yeah. But regardless, go on.
Like, okay, sorry. I don't know if you remember Kingdom Soldier.
Yes, Kingdom Soldier.
He said that the team split up, so Hitch was known for making vision around those 4 players, if that makes sense. And now that those 4 players aren't there, it's a different team. Hitch feels like Hitch isn't the person to be making the story for those 4 players. So
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that, but also I think that I don't know. I just don't think Hitch wanted to do it because he's been talking about doing a documentary for a long time, and I just don't think Hitch wants to do Vision.
Okay, so we'll close this little conversation off, and of course we'll reopen it later when it comes to the big question. It will probably be a short conversation. Regards, we'll run through the actual winners of every category besides the ones that we've mentioned already. So in esports unsung hero of the year, we had Face It Mikey winning that one.
Yep, I can agree with that.
Streaming platform of the year, Twitch. Obviously, I don't think anybody else has.
Call it the Twitch Award.
Sorry, call it the Twitch Award. Well, the thing is, I don't think it's a case of what Twitch have done for esports this year. Because if in my opinion, at the very least, if it was just going off what a certain platform has actually done for each, it should be YouTube, or maybe Mixer because of their support for Gears of War and Halo. But beyond that, actually, to be fair, I think every other one besides Snipe, or however you say that, has actually done more for esports this year than Twitch has. It's just that Twitch is the primary platform for it, and it always will be.
Too big. You can't compete with Twitch.
Yeah, it's the OG. You can't really do anything about it.
YouTube buys the broadcast rights to literally everything.
Yes, which to be fair, they are starting to collect some broadcast rights to the name. So
they want it for 2020.
No.
Yeah, I think eventually there'll be some actual contenders, but not now. Not for a few years.
It's going to dominate for the next few years.
Yeah.
There's not enough. Okay, it's not. Essentially, YouTube's viewing platform, right, is based around right now. While they're trying to push like 10-minute videos and stuff like that, they do better in ads and stuff like that.
Watch time.
Yeah, watch time. The way YouTube gaming streams make more money is that once they upload the video, which is done automatically, there are so many ads on that video, but no one rewatches the stream.
No.
Especially if you see the YouTube video has 6 hours in length, or 4 hours, 2 hours, you're not clicking on that.
Yeah, there needs to be some sort of like highlights.
Like,
or even just like a way to
there's your
monetize the stream.
sponsor and your donation linked into YouTube gaming, which is the same on Twitch, but you have bits, you have subscriptions, you have different tiers of subscriptions on Twitch. And there's more benefits as well. There's more things enabled into Twitch.
Yeah.
Than gaming itself.
It's ahead of the game, right? It's ahead of the curve.
Yeah, and also the fact that to find a Twitch stream is so much more easier to find any YouTube stream.
Because you got to go through all the YouTube videos.
You have to go, like even if you go on YouTube gaming, which no one ever does, by the way, you go on to simply YouTube, and unless you're subscribed to that specific thing, right, then it's going to pop up on your feed. Otherwise, it's not.
Yeah.
You have to go to YouTube Gaming, which is a completely different site. It's not integrated into YouTube.
Yeah.
Which is, again, a pain in the ass because it's not easy to find. Which is why, unless YouTube change their model right now, then they're never going to be ahead.
Okay.
Facebook will be like more ahead than YouTube if they compete.
Because they have a casual viewer base. I tell you what, actually, I can give some insight into this because when I did Belong, they actually had more viewership on their Facebook page than they did on Twitter than Twitch because their sort of their viewership was actually casual gamers. It was casual people, like grassroots esports, and that's why that I remember. Martin told me the viewership numbers, which were like they would get 3K viewers concurrently on games on Facebook because people would just see it and they'd like the page and they'd stay there and just watch it. So Facebook is because of the casual audience actually is probably the one that they could.
Yeah, but I love that. But EPL, like ESL Pro League, absolutely gets destroyed on Facebook. They get like 2K viewers, whereas on Twitch they used to get like 15K per match. Yeah,
I mean, Twitch is always going to be the home for gaming, like regardless. But the thing is, compared to YouTube right now, which is I think number 2 and number 3. Probably.
Facebook have got so many streaming issues as well.
That is true, but again, I think Facebook beats YouTube in terms of streaming.
Probably. Anyway, move on.
Okay, so we'll talk about Esports Breakthrough Game of the Year. I really hate that they bloody won it, But Fortnite won. I really, really do not think Fortnite should have won. They put a shit ton of money into their esports scene, but there is no support at a base game level for esports. This game doesn't even have a broadcaster mode. Why is a game that does not have a broadcaster mode winning Breakthrough Game of the Year for esports? That's ridiculous.
You can't argue it, though. There's no other game that has broken through this year in the same way that Fortnite has. There is no game that's ever broken through in the same way that Fortnite has.
I know. I'm not disagreeing. I just hate it.
Okay, Fortnite had a deal with Marvel. Come on,
love it or hate it, you can't deny the fact that Fortnite is taking over the world.
Well, it is so fucking annoying seeing a bunch of little kids saying, "I like Fortnite, I like Fortnite,"
and then doing all their little default dances and everything.
Yeah, well, it is so annoying, seeing a bunch of those idiots and all of that stuff. I just don't think that you can argue it. It's the biggest game right now, and it's
only going to continue.
Yeah,
to be
it's
so for
one of the biggest games. It is the biggest game ever made.
Yeah,
for sure, without a doubt, the biggest game ever made, and the fact that it's free.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing. It's free and it's on so many platforms.
Yeah.
We can talk about Fortnite's success till Kingdom Come. We know that it's the most successful game at the moment, and it will continue to be so until.
I just don't think realistically for that category there's any competition.
Yeah.
At all.
No. Sadly, I'll say. Esports Console Rookie of the Year, we discussed that one. Esports PC Rookie of the Year, which is Whippo. I think that's it.
This is a really interesting story. In 330 days, he went from being a guy in contenders to being Fnatic's substitute top laner to being in the world's final in 330 days.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
If that's not Rookie of the Year, I don't know what is.
No. He is also, as well, he's probably number one, number two best Western top laner currently. Maybe with Soaz, and that's it. And they're both on the same team. It's ridiculous. It's so good. He's so good. I think there is no one else who really can take that away from him. Who else was nominated for that? There can't be anyone else.
I can absolutely agree. So, Photographer of the Year, Helena Christiansen.
She's the person on Instagram, if you follow her, she's just called Esports Photo.
Right.
And she is good.
Yeah. To be fair, Photographer of the Year is quite a hard one, isn't it? Because everyone's so good at it now. There's such a high quality of...
Undisputedly best.
Well, Joe Brady won it in the past 2 years.
She's so good, though. She does all this stuff now. She's being hired for, every event.
Yeah. It makes sense. I can't comment on it without being wrong. So Esports Coverage Website of the Year. This is one of those weird ones. ESPN Esports actually won. I'm not quite sure why, but alas, they did win. I think there are so many other contenders here. Double Tap have been pushing content hard. The Score Esports have been working really hard. Charlie Intel has been pushing esports through Call of Duty. Deserto's been working really hard. Liquipedia. There are, in my opinion, HLTV even. In my opinion, there are so many more coverage websites that deserved it more than ESPN.
Only because of Overwatch, I think.
Yeah.
Only because of
ESPN.
Which probably put them over the edge, I think.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that. I do feel though that if you actually to look into it properly, I don't think ESPN actually deserved to win it. Maybe in previous years.
I think no. I just think because of the amount of salary leaks, roster moves and stuff like that was leaked left, right, and center through ESPN and Slasher, right? And I think mainly because of that they got the I agree to an extent. There's Double Tap and the Score were probably better. But the thing is that because of Overwatch and how much information and stuff like that was done, even with the devs as well, with how the ruling was going to be done for Stage 3 and Stage 4, all of that stuff was done with ESPN mainly. So that's what probably put them over the edge. But again, if the same thing happened next year, I don't expect them to win it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that's that. Esports Team of the Year, Astralis in CSGO.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Best team in the world right now.
Okay. Esports Supporting Agents of the Year, they Evolve Talent Agency won this. Again, this is sort of one of those minor ones that I think is starting to come up a little bit. It's just basically
no one knows.
Talent. Esports Commercial Partner of the Year. And this is one of those ones that I don't think it's really an argument. I think it's just really comes down to the personal preference of the people voting, and Intel won it.
No, they are in everything, though.
Yeah, that is true. I think HP by Omen.
Yeah,
that could have been. I think that should have been one of the nominees. I'm assuming.
Omen would have been in that.
Yeah, I think that would have been number 2, if anything.
Okay, Journalist of the Year, Jacob Wolf.
Yeah, Jacob Wolf.
I think Slasher should have won it. Slasher should have won this.
Journalist of the Year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen arguments for Richard Lewis.
What do you mean? What are you pushing at Richard Lewis? He's a
He didn't
legend.
deserve to win this. And Richard Lewis has this downwards look on other esports, which I don't particularly like.
Yes, he does. That's true. There is also Thorin, I think, might have been nominated.
He was, yeah.
DK was not nominated for this. It is a sin against esports.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, DK was. Sorry.
Okay, good. I was going to say.
Yeah, he was. I don't think anybody else really could have won it, to be honest with you. Mike Kent.
What did Sensor have for breakfast?
Sorry, no, I'm not going to say that, actually. I'll stay quiet. We'll move on to Esports Hardware Provider of the Year. NVIDIA won that.
No doubt.
Yeah, again, I mean, I think for me, it's one of those categories that's like, well, how can you really argue for it or against it? It just is what it is.
NVIDIA also too good.
Esports Live Event of the Year. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that Overwatch League Grand Final should have won this. There's no doubt in my mind. For sure.
That Roleplay Center final was too good.
It was really good.
I absolutely think there's competition here. Maybe from like... Sorry?
League's Grand Final? Did you watch World's Final?
I didn't know. I was busy. But I think there's competition because I know about how popular that was. Like there was questions about it in my pub quiz at my uni. Like... I got it right, but yeah, League of Legends World Championship is probably the contender here. But Overwatch League Grand Final, I don't think it's any dispute.
E-League Boston Major maybe as well.
Yeah, it was on the list.
Kuala Lumpur Major. Anyway, yeah, live event. Blah blah blah. Unsung Hero.
Publisher is Blizzard.
No. Yeah, I agree. Overwatch is really well this year,
and COD as well.
And COD.
Yeah, so
well,
Blizzard.
and Destiny.
That's not really an esport.
It's not an esport, mate. Come
on.
But
in terms of publishing.
In terms of publishing, yes.
Yes, yeah, Blizzard, I can absolutely agree to that. Esports Game of the Year, Overwatch.
And Hearthstone and StarCraft 2 as well, actually.
Yeah. Esports Game of the Year, Overwatch. Won that award. Absolutely no doubt that Overwatch should have won that. Maybe Call of Duty next year. But we'll talk about that later. Personality of the Year, Ninja. No doubt about that. You can't argue with that. There's no way you can argue with that. Streamer of the Year, Ninja. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not sure that Ninja should have won Esports Personality of the Year, but Streamer of the Year, Ninja definitely deserved to win. And in my opinion, Esports Personality of the Year maybe should have gone to someone else like Dr. Disrespect. No, it was not Dr. Disrespect, but maybe like Nadeshot. You guys have gone. Boffers and PK, their connection has cut. If you guys can see Boffers' face right now, it looks very funny. I'm just going to wait for George to potentially get back in this. Cool. Okay, well, I don't really know what to do, so I'll continue on the podcast on my own while George and PK have decided to disappear from the discussion. Streamer of the Year, I mean, Ninja won that. So rounded out, they've got internet issues, so we'll just close out that little section while they're trying to do that. MS Dossery won Console Player of the Year. Cloud9 undoubtedly won Organisation of the Year, and there is no doubt that they should have won that. Very good reason for them winning that. Hey, he's back. I just got to Cloud9 winning Esports Organisation of the Year. No doubt about it. We'll end the Esports Award discussion on that then, at the very least. Then we'll get back to it later for a small discussion on who should win what. We'll get on to the little discussion about patch notes. So Call of Duty, we're gonna.
What changed? Sub's got a buff.
So there are some key changes here. The ones I've got on screen for you guys are the most important changes, which is of course the CDWL tuning. But subs got buffed here incredibly, and the MX9, GKS, the Cordite, and the Spitfire all got heavy buffs, which is good. The Maddox got a huge nerf, in my opinion, and it's good that the Maddox got a nerf. Let me just be very clear about that. I'm bewildered that there are players on Twitter that are saying the Maddox should not have got a nerf. If you really want a one-gun meta,
where's the Maddox?
The Maddox should not have got nerfed. But if you don't...
What happened to Maddox? What changed?
It's ink recoil. So recoil of the first and the second shots have been nerfed, which I think that's the right way to go about it, isn't it, really?
No.
I mean, I think maybe the drop off of the weapon, or the shots to kill.
I just think fire rate.
Apart from
fire rate or damage need to be reduced.
Fire rate damage. Okay, well that makes sense. The KN, the
kills
Rampart.
It kills faster than all, the Maddox kills faster than all
the
subs,
subs.
apart from Spitfire, which no one uses, and the Sorg.
Well, the thing is, people might use a Spitfire now, so that's going to be interesting to see. I'd like to see Spitfire long barrel.
The
It's
Sorg,
just the Vesper, mate.
the Spitfire doesn't even have like a quick draw attachment. There's no way you're using a Spitfire at all.
It's true. Have you seen the effect that Quick Draw has? Quick Draw 2 has on a sword. It takes it from a 300 millisecond ADS to 185 millisecond ADS.
165.
165, sorry. Yeah, it's mad.
Incredible.
Yeah, the thing is, the Sorg is okay. The Sorg is a better version of a Spitfire because it's just more consistent over a longer range. But the Maddox is just better. Like if you need to fight a long range gunfight, you can't use the Sorg for it.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
Well, regardless, the Maddox has had a nerf, albeit a fair one. I think it's maybe not the right thing to nerf, but it's been nerfed regardless. The KN has been buffed. The Rampart has been buffed.
Good.
The LM. This is the funny one. The Titan has been buffed.
Nerfed.
It looks like it's been look like it's been buffed in
No, it's been nerfed.
Is it?
pre-sprint
Yeah,
part time.
It's good.
Light machine guns, reduced ADS speed,
Increased sprint out
increased
time.
sprint out time,
Oh,
slightly.
okay, so it's been nerfed. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Slightly reduced movement speed.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so it's been nerfed. That's just good,
Yeah.
which is good. It needed a nerf. I was going to swear.
It's still 2
Okay, so the Outlaw has been buffed. The SDM has been buffed. The Koshka has been buffed. I don't know why sniper rifles are getting buffed, considering they're, I mean, arguably the most powerful weapons in the game right now, because it's literally one shot to kill.
What?
Are you mad?
There's one shot to kill. I mean,
As it has been with every sniper
yeah,
rifle.
but in a game where you have 150 health and it's even slower to kill with assault rifles, a sniper rifle can literally snap you much quicker, and it's more time to do it.
It's fine. Yeah, but sniper rifles take quite a bit more skill than using an assault rifle.
I wouldn't argue in this game, especially when auto aim is much stronger in Treyarch games.
It's true, but still, I thought that snipers still aren't the best guns in the game.
People won't use them in comp, obviously. People would be too dumb with the but
feeds.
But I talk about pubs in terms of the fact that sniper rifles at the moment are too powerful. It's annoying when you come up against one. It's like you can't even react before they snapped you. Like,
Well, it's just a good sniper.
no, but that's all snipers. I've
mean,
rarely come up against one where they haven't snapped me.
If he hits you in the leg, he's not killing you.
You say that, but with this game at the very least, it's just not true. People do hit you in weird places and get you all down in one shot
I'm
anyway.
not going to argue. I don't think snipers are that great.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, that's happened. Shotgun, the SG-12, more specifically the strobe light operator mod. So if anyone's come across that in pubs, which is the most, it's dead to play against. That has been heavily nerfed.
Imagine your strategy being to give your opponents epileptic fit. Imagine.
Literally. Grip 2 has been nerfed, thank the heavens, which means the ICR will be also nerfed in a way. I mean, because Grip 2 is sort of, you have to run it. It's a crutch attachment. Talking about specialists.
Grip 1's still pretty good on it.
You run a quick draw. You can substitute grip
Grip two
for
quick
FMJ,
draw. FMJ.
Yeah.
and that shreds.
It does.
So I mean, I don't think grip 2 is that crutch of attachment because the gun still has almost no recoil anyway.
Grip
But
1 100% is.
Well,
Grip one.
Grip 1's a crutch attachment if you're just using any weapon. If it's available on the weapon, you should be using it. I mean, pretty much.
Arguable.
I
I
mean,
didn't use it back in the day.
You didn't use it on what?
Muzzle break red dot on the vector.
Oh,
didn't even
dear.
use grip on that.
So specific specialist changes. Of course, there are CDL tuning, but these are the overall sort of universal changes. Ajax or Ajax, his 9-bang has had a flash effect duration reduced by 25%.
Oh bloody hell! Thank
Which
God.
is so good. Tac Mask has been now buffed to the point where it now proactively counters 9-bangs correctly, which is good. Ballistic Shield's been nerfed as well in a multitude of ways.
Good.
Essentially, just Ajax and Ajax is now a lot more usable. Profit, the Tempest accuracy has increased.
Good.
Essentially, just the Tempest is now better, and the Seeker Shot Mine no longer gets stuck in a loop, which is fun.
Yeah.
Firebreak, the Pre-Fire, will now properly damage the strike team, which is I didn't even realize it wasn't damaging it before. To be honest with you, it's one of those things that you never really see. Ruin resolved an issue that could lead to the grapple gun failing to connect to surfaces when the player was moving. So yeah, I mean, I've noticed that, to be fair. So I'm glad that's fixed. Perks. This is the big one. Tac Mask, increased resistance to 9-bang, concussion grenade, and razor wire. Tac Mask is fixed. We have a counter.
With Tac Mask on?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you can't. I don't think you can walk through it, but there's more resistance to it. So
and you can you don't get caught in it easily or something like that. I don't know.
Flak Jacket, increased resistance to explosive damage, which is good. Yeah. So basically, Flak and Tac have had a massive buff. Cold Blooded. So again, it's now going to take longer for an enemy AI to actually target you when you're running Cold Blooded. Dead Silence. It will now suppress player sounds related to healing, taking full damage, or surfacing while swimming, as it should do.
Good.
Strike Team. So teams can only have one Strike Team active at one time. Doesn't really affect comp.
Everything else is pretty much fine. There's spawn adjustments on a few maps, but that's minor.
This originally said Silo, by the way, which was quite funny. Payload originally. So it originally said Arsenal Summit and Silo, which is quite funny for Treyarch to get wrong.
Here's a big one though. Adjusted spawn logic associated with active hardpoint to reduce weight given to the spawns near hardpoint. It should help reduce times when teams spawn on the same side of the active hardpoint. So
so what they've done now is they've done like Black Ops 2, where one team spawns front, one team spawns the other side of it.
Yeah, because like if you play slums now, if your main AR doesn't sit, like if you get to the second hill in the
and they're not in laundry or whatever.
The second hill is like by this. If your team doesn't literally sit at the back, if one person doesn't literally just sit there, you lose spawn. They spawn behind you. So I think that's going to be big now.
That's good.
That's a good change.
Your main AR
anchoring back, basically.
Yeah, your main AR had to literally sit there and not like he had to just like say hi to his team while they fought 4v5 at the front, which is like essentially. And if you push, then they spawn behind you, which is like it's stupid, but I'm glad they've changed it.
It's anchoring's back, which is good.
Okay, so specific spawn changes to maps and game modes.
Not bothered.
So, but here's the biggest ones is custom games. Custom games. The issue has supposedly been resolved for displaying friendlies as or enemies as friendlies, and vice versa. It hasn't. I've seen Endura tweet out that there a video of him coming across this issue.
Okay. I bet we're going to get disconnected from lobbies as well.
Yeah, probably. Well, they haven't said anything about Codcaster, so it doesn't surprise me. Regardless, added an option in custom control matches to enable team kills and suicides to count towards the team number of remaining lives. I mean, that's not relevant, is it? Hardcore and heist aren't relevant. Search and destroy. Resolved an issue that would grant an additional round win if the last enemy was killed just before the bomb detonated. Resolved an issue where certain optics could have a blue or red static background when spectating.
It's not bothering, is it?
Yeah, I don't. But here's the big one. So this is the one where we actually can talk about this for quite some time. CWL Custom Games specific CWL changes to specialists. So they're specific tuning for the CWL rule set, and a lot of these changes are extremely good. Now, if I see players whining about these specialists after these changes, I am going to get so tilted. These look so good. Like, these changes are actually, like, you can tell they've really listened and changed a lot. So you guys are currently reading this right now, right? So you can see now that Barricade and Razor Wire no longer does any damage. It just slows you down. Sensor Dart only lasts 3 seconds, which is 1 ping according to the patch notes. Tac Deploy has a maximum of 4 spawns before it's destroyed.
This is only in CWL.
This is only in CWL. To be fair, these changes would be amazing to pubs, but unfortunately it's not going to happen. Reactor Core deals reduced damage. The Hellion Salvo will be now unbanned, I believe, because it has been changed here that in the case that the splash damage to players has been drastically reduced. And Mesh Mines now deal only non-lethal damage.
Cool, I like that.
I mean, those changes are pretty heavy to specialists.
It basically just eliminates all the BS in the game and makes it so much more viable now that we can...
Well, yeah, because... Go on.
It eliminates all the BS in specialists in the sense that you can no longer win around 11 by having a barricade and razor wire.
You still can.
What? They don't do any damage anymore. They just slow you. So you can't.
I don't know if you get hit markers. I'm not sure yet, because if you get hit markers, then they kind of,
probably will get hit markers, but like even still, you can't just win it by the fact that you can't defuse the bomb. So say you get the kill on the last guy in the 1v1, and you can't defuse the bomb because the barricade and the razor wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in like hardpoint and stuff like that. It's.
Yeah.
It's.
I think the Tac Deploy one's a big one. And the reactor core is big.
I mean, the target deploy has just been tuned because essentially, in pubs, I think it's people you get 9 spawns.
Yeah.
So yes, your team twice.
Yeah.
Whereas
This is just a team once.
One team once.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Whereas the reactor core, I completely agree with that. Bloody hell, no one should be able to get kills through walls. Yeah. I mean, just having a rocket launcher, like you're gonna have to at least have one rocket launcher class.
Yeah.
When has that
Because you
ever
can't
been?
have EMPs.
Yeah,
so-
I mean, but when has that ever been a thing in COD?
No, that's very true. Yeah.
Like
Well, the rocket launchers for me. I mean, the thing is, for as long as the streaks stay in, like the attack chopper, rocket launcher needs to stay in. Like in my
I
opinion.
agree with that. I can agree to that. But the thing is like, when has it ever been a thing? Like, you know, just having stuff on the, you know, like having a mesh mine. It's like similar to a claymore. While it doesn't do much damage, claymore's always been banned, and trip mines have always been banned and stuff like that. You know, it shouldn't be allowed in that regard, because, I mean, we've had a competitive esport, as competitive as it can get, for a while now. I don't get why we change it every year.
Yeah.
You know,
We should
it's
just
like
have one
the
game.
C4 has universally been banned every single time.
Mm.
Right? You're not just gonna unban it this year because there's a chance. Blah blah blah. You just keep it banned. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a reason these things on in competitive, because they make the game uncompetitive.
Yep.
You know, no one should be able, just because people have been, like, even the worst player on a team, as long as the team is there, eventually he's gonna get his stupid barricade and his razor wire, because the razor wire is over time, remind you, and the mesh mine is over time. So like, he gets a free check. Like, he gets a free check around the corner with the razor wire, like a free trap, just to force people to come around another way unless they destroy it, which is again wasting time. Or they get a free check around the corner with the mesh mine, which again is not competitive.
I can argue that barricade and razor wire are competitive in a way, because although you don't earn them per se in a way of kills, you still have a chance to use it in a competitive sense. You are blocking a lane essentially, which is good. It's good. It's adding a tactical element to it rather than just having pure run and gun gameplay, which I have been a big advocate for quite some time.
I understand why, but the thing is that, I mean, specialists were a big thing complained about Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
Like I just because some, and same with Infinite Warfare, you know, you can't be able to rotate first and all of that stuff just because you have something coming online.
Yeah.
It's not the way it works. It's not the way the game should be played. Like, okay, I can understand you relying on a specialist like a Tempest, because if you miss, then you fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or same with Annihilator, you know, the Purifier to an extent.
Ground spikes even.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Even that, yeah, I can understand that to a degree. But the thing is stuff like this is not exactly like giving up 40 to 35 seconds on a hill just because you have a mesh mine and a barricade. You know, just it ruins the viewing experience as well.
Yeah.
Because because people have to funnel through one way because they don't have a bloody rocket launcher class, it's just, you know, it's not entirely fair, and I don't think it's entirely competitive either.
All right. Well, regardless, that's just how it is at the moment. I'm sure players will complain. I'm not going to lie.
Yep,
In the same
they will.
sense, they will. That's just the nature of Call of Duty players. Regardless, last big thing to note about the patch notes is the camo issue. I believe has been fixed with Diamond Camo.
Diamond stuff. Cool.
Yeah, maybe. I think so. I'm not really sure.
No.
I believe
That's
somewhere I read that it was fixed, but regardless.
Anyway, yeah.
Regardless, yeah, it says resolved a number of issues with camos applying to weapons incorrectly. I don't know if that's what it means.
Probably
No.
not. Probably not.
But regardless, I mean, if it hasn't been fixed, that's just weird. Regardless, yeah, I mean, that's about it for all the relevant stuff, I think, to competitive in the patch notes. So we'll move on to our final bit of the night, which of course is the big question. We'll put that Esports Awards back logo on. We'll have a very short discussion regarding this. Does Call of Duty deserve to win an Esports Award? And in what sense do they deserve to win an esport?
If you're going to give the console esport thing, then you might as well just give it to COD, because it's the only console esport that anyone really wants to talk about. And even then, a lot of proper esports snobs, like CS players, League players, and everything like that, don't really consider COD to be a proper esport. So, I mean, subjectively, I'd say yes, we probably do deserve one for console, but I don't really know about anything else, in all honesty.
Okay.
I can agree to that.
Like, if you're going to have a category specifically for console, then yeah, sure, give us an award because there's really no one else who can compete with that. Rainbow's on PC now. Halo doesn't really exist anymore. Gears of War is not nearly as big as COD. Smash and all the FGC don't really have much of a dev support, like Paro was saying a minute ago. And FIFA and other sports games are really going to be the only competitor, really.
Yeah.
I mean, mainly FIFA.
Yeah.
And oh wait, no, Rocket League's on PC, right?
Rocket League's
Rocket League's on
PC.
PC, yeah. Although you can use it like PlayStation or Xbox.
Most people do use a controller. Like
Yeah.
if you're playing with keyboard and
But
mouse.
keyboard and mouse is dumb on Rocket League. It's so dumb to play
Yeah,
with.
I mean, it gives you more movement with analog.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah. Regardless, I mean, if Call of Duty was to win an award, then so it's going to win those console esports awards. We'll discuss should Call of Duty win Game of the Year at any point. If Black Ops 4 does well this year, do you think?
It won't.
Do you think there's any chance that Black Ops 4 could win?
Right. Black Ops 4, the only way that Black Ops 4 does well is if it turns into a game with mad dev support. And we won't have mad dev support. It won't happen because Activision are very hands-off with their approach in much the same way that Valve are. Valve's games were only good because of the people who run them. ESL, DreamHack, PGL, all these different people who run these different esports events for them, Dota and CS. With Call of Duty, they only have the CWL. No one else runs any events for it. UMG, Gfinity, EGL, no one else runs any events. So therefore, ergo, we need dev support, and we don't have enough, quite frankly, to make it a Game of the Year esports. So Overwatch will probably just win again next year, unless League of Legends Season 9 is absolutely nuclear, or Fortnite actually gets a good esport backing. So I don't see Call of Duty ever winning Game of the Year.
Okay.
not for a long while.
Not for a
Not
long
for a
while.
while. Not this year, at the very least. For as long as we have a yearly title.
Unless they said like in
We're going to
February.
make one title.
Yeah,
for
if we said
esports only title.
if they said like this is it, man. There's no more CODs after the next COD. Like yeah, that's
what we're going to do is we're going to report Black Ops 2, put a bunch of good weapon balancing in. We're going to put a load of the maps from every single
that game
COD.
was balanced though.
Yeah, I know. But like, say for example, we're going to take guns and maps from other games as well, put them all in. Here's your competitive rule set. We'll take a map or a couple of maps out every time, rework them, put some new maps in. COD right there. That is your esport.
That's Call of Duty Online without the microtransactions.
It would be such a better esport though, because you have one game that you buy. It's not 50 quid every year. You get the same stable player base, and it only gets injected into. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, look at Fortnite.
yeah. Look
Just
at that.
literally look at Fortnite.
Like CS is one of the biggest ones in the world because it literally costs 12 quid, and you buy it once and you keep it forever.
Yeah. that
Same
makes
with League of
sense.
Legends. It's free.
Same with Overwatch.
Overwatch, what is it? 20 quid.
20 to 30 quid.
20
But
to
the thing
30
is,
quid.
they're always adding new stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And it's always updated. COD is only updated every year.
And then you have to pay 60 quid for that update.
You have to pay 60 quid for that. Yeah.
I'm not against the 60 quid pay model because, like, they shouldn't have extra deals.
Well, neither am I. I'm not against the 60 quid pay model for as long, but I'm against the 60 quid pay model and then another like 50, another like God knows what on microtransactions. Like that's what I'm
DLC.
against. Yeah, that's ridiculous. If you're
Yeah,
a game, make it like free to play and then have the microtransactions. Or
That's Battlefront level, like, extortion.
well, yes, it is what it is. Well, I mean, Battlefront 2's fixed now, but unfortunately, I don't know for how long. Regardless, I don't think we really needed that long of a discussion on that big question.
No.
I think most of it was done with the Esports Awards discussion earlier on. Call of Duty will not likely win an Esport Award for another year at least. Another few years at the very least. We shall see. However, that should be it for us guys tonight. Thank you so much to PK for coming on as our special guest this week. Boffers for going over there and giving him a good time. So
We're recording some other stuff.
they're enacting some secret plans. Regardless, guys, cheers for everyone. Cheers to everyone for tuning in. We'll be back next week with episode 5 of the Esports Universe show. Be sure not to miss it. But until then, we'll see you later.
Cool.
If I could turn this off.